Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, immediately as I was waiting to turn my camera on for the broadcast, yikes. Okay, I don't think this is going to be a negative reading. I think this is going to be a very positive, very empowering reading. But the yikes is that something was telling me that in order to bring my video on screen, I needed to click the red button, which would effectively end the live stream. So, yikes, that's telling me that whatever it is we're going to be talking about in this conversation, it's going to be something really powerful. It carries with it the potentiality to completely alter your life, the trajectory of your journey, and everything. Something's attempting to suck you into despair. When I asked what we were going to talk about, that's what I heard. Something is attempting to suck you into despair. Are you going to allow it? I sure the hope not. I sure the hope not. That's such a weird way to phrase things. I sure the hope not. All right, let me just finish. Let me finish with this. I'm having a fabulous day. Oh my gosh, I have so much. How did I get so much makeup on my finger? What is going on here? I gotta get this off. Hold on. Nothing drives me nuts worse than dirty fingernails. It's so gross. Ah, yuck. This is disgusting. I know it's mascara, but still, that's, ugh. Anyways. It's been a lovely day for me. Extremely productive, such a good mood. And I just unlocked another level of life hack at the gym. It was hilarious. Hold on, I'm just trying to get this. I went to go ask the front if they had yoga blocks. And then I got into a conversation with the manager and the personal trainer up there, Gym Bestie. That's what I call her. She probably thinks I'm crazy. And I asked her, long story short, because it was a fairly in-depth conversation, I requested a whole bunch of equipment for her to order. And then I requested to have one of their locked cabinets behind the counter in the front. If they could just save that for me, because I actually have a whole bunch of gym equipment at home and I will gladly bring it in, but no one else is allowed to use it. And I just store it there so I don't have to like carry it back home with me. She goes, sure. I was like, for real? Because I'm not joking right now. It is what it is. So I forgot to open the TikTok live stream. I can't see nobody's comments over there. All right. Oh, hold on. There. TikTok be trying all kind of nonsense with me. That's fine. Okay, let's get started. So something is trying to suck you into despair. They could suck all at once still. No, absolutely not. Okay. Oh, it's trying to be covert about it. But I'm here to spill the business. I'm here to spill all the business, get it everywhere. So they want you to not be aware. Awakening in reverse. They don't want you to be aware of this attempt to kind of just derail your progression. No. How about that? How about no? How about no? Yeah, that's an answer. That's not a question. That's actually a statement that's phrased as a question, but it's not an actual question. How about no? And you have every right to do that. Boundaries. You need to enforce your boundaries. You have to enforce your boundaries, and you need to make sure That a mofo knows exactly how far they can take things with you before you push them back. Not physically, of course. I don't like physical violence. I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but unless it's actually necessary for your safety, please, no physical violence, no physical aggression. That's a big no. What they want, sorry, what they want is to get you riled up and riled up and riled up until by next winter, you're going to be so upside down within your potential, within your journey, and you're not even going to notice. Why do they want you like this? Because they want you to be destabilized. Bitch, please. No. No to all the parasitic requests to destabilize, to regress, to I touched my mouth. Whatever. No. That's an answer and a request and a statement. All of it. How about no? A lot of people think you don't have a say in the way other people's actions affect you. A lot of people think that. That's not true. People can have whatever malignant intention that they want to have. None of that matters until you give it a space to exist within your thoughts and within your life. None of it matters. The only things that matter and have power over you are the things that you give that gravity to and that authority over you. Seriously. I mean, do you know how many people have wanted me to fail, to disappear? Bitch, I don't care what you want. I don't care what they want. That's none of my business, none of my concern. As long as I'm living my most authentic existence, as long as I'm being true to myself, not intentionally trying to harm other people, there's nothing that I need to be upset about. There's nothing that I need to do any of those things about. No. You have so much say in your life. And whatever it is that's happening right now, it's going to continue to escalate. And is your space buttoned up? Are you actively cultivating your field, your energy, your thoughts, actively sitting with your emotions to create a level of awareness of where you're at within your journey? Because if you're doing these things, it'll escalate for them and you'll be able to mitigate any of the negative effects, the intended negative impact on you and your journey. You'll be able to mitigate that. So what's the problem? What's the problem? And as a matter of fact, what my life has shown me repeatedly over the years, all I have continued to see from my own journey is that every time someone steps into that place, yes, they're usually, when I say usually, I mean every single time it's happened for me, they're usually being very much controlled and influenced by full-blown demonic things. And their feelings towards me, their intention towards me has nothing to do with me. And I'm not playing with that. And because I step into that space of being fully present enough to cultivate how I will choose for this experience to affect me, you know what happens? It's usually the launching pad to get me to the next level of my existence. So what? So what? Someone has woo plans for you. Okay. Let them utilize all of their energy to try and do things. And you know what happens? I'm like, go ahead. Go ahead. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use your bullshit as a very fuel to shine brighter in direct defiance to your stupidity. Because who the fuck are you to think you get a say in the level of happiness and satisfaction that I have regarding my existence? And it has to be said that way. It has to be said that way because there can be no room for misinterpretation of the type of authority I hold over myself. No one else. I don't even own my children. Does that mean my kids are wilding out? No, I'm guiding. I'm showing what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. But they are their own person and they know this. I will not control and dominate them in that way. I will let them know if something does not resonate with me. If I feel some type of way about behaviors, actions, words, decisions, I will let them know. I will communicate that. But they are autonomous. The only thing you can control is yourself and your response to any given circumstance that is placed at your feet. That's the only thing you can control. That's the only thing you can control. So, for example, I think it was last week, I was totally being manipulative towards my husband. Listen, hear me out first. So I told him we should have another baby. And he goes, no. And I was like, well, guess you're going to have to just get me more plants. And he goes, no. So here's the thing. The last time I said that, several years ago, the last time I said that, he got me some big ass plants, bigger than me. He got me a whole ass tree. But he remembers that. So that attempt to manipulate did not work. It didn't work. It didn't. He was like, no plants, no baby, no nothing. And I'm like, ew, right? He was completely devoid of any type of emotion in that moment. Just like, no. And I had to accept that. I had to. And some of you might be like, oh my God, he won't even get you plants. Babe, I live in an indoor jungle. This is not even all of my plants. Okay. These are the sick plants. These are the ones that I'm nursing back to health with my grow lights. I live in an indoor jungle. All right. I'm not deficient in greenery inside the house or outside. So was I able to impact him? No. Because when I said that a couple years back, he was just like, babe, like, I feel like we're just kind of at a point where it's just going to be too hard. And then he felt so bad. And then, I was trying to get a puppy the last time. I was trying to get a puppy. And he goes, you know what? How about you go ahead and change your clothes after your session? I'm going to take you somewhere. And I'm like, where are you going to take me? And he goes, it's a surprise. And he took me to the nursery. He took me to the nursery. He be knowing my love language. So yeah, I was able to have an effect on him. I did want a puppy. I said to him, a baby or a puppy, those are your options. That's what I said. A baby or a puppy. Those are the options. He found a different solution. Yeah. No, this time he's just like, no to everything. He's not saying that I can't have those things. He's saying he's not going to be participating in either of those things, which you want me to carry the plants in? What the are you serious? Because I was planning to buy big stuff. Like, no, I'm not carrying that. You want me to carry a whole ash tree? Ew. These muscles that I have are for a stage. They're not for using to carry things in the house. Please stop. And he knows that. I don't know. Could you imagine dealing with me as your wife for the last 26 years? Ah, ah, oh, that shit's hilarious to me. Anyways, magic in reverse, right? Magic in reverse. Something is trying to use your magic to your detriment. It's trying to trigger you. It's trying to get you in a space where really, do you need to exist there? Do you need to exist in those emotions? Do you need to feel as though you have no say over your life, right? Oh no, my boys are sick of they don't want no part of the animals. They don't want no part of the plants. I mean, they take care of their animals, but we're not going to be able to volunteer them without their consent. They're all like, no, they're done with animals, especially cats. It turns out that we're not a cat household. Cats are too much like me. They just don't give a shit and do whatever the hell comes into their mind. So okay. Anyways, containment. Whatever is being pushed forward, right? Whatever is being pushed forward, if you don't like it, you need to contain it because you absolutely have a say in that. You have that much authority over yourself in your life. You do. There are some events that you will go through that you don't have a say in whether you will or won't experience it, but you absolutely have a say in the ways in which you will experience that, whether it will be a positive experience, a learning experience, a negative experience, all of that. Fred says, and you are the cat in the house. Yes, me and Sir Felix, he's I call him a colonizer. I refer to him as a colonizer. He's gorgeous though. It's the most maltreatment I've ever received from any living thing. He'll demand love and then he'll withdraw. He'll just he'll demand love and then he'll bite me because he didn't want it that way. Or he wanted it that way, but then he didn't want it for that long and it was one too many touches on his belly or whatever. And then he'll I'm just like, what did I do? Yeah. That's the only mofo that can treat me that way. I swear to God. And I still come back for more. I do. I can't help it. I can't help it. I love him. I do. I love him so much. He loves me sometimes. Sometimes he does. And when he doesn't, I don't care because I buy his food. He's going to have to tolerate me. So it's time to release negativity. Ooh, okay. This right here. This is what's creating a lot of the opportunity to suck you into negativity, to suck you into despair. Okay. If you are very rigid in your expectations of how your energy, how your journey and your expectations, how all of that will play out, this is going to pull you into a state of despair for real. You have to be flexible. True strength is in your ability to bend. It's called tensile strength. And when you add components that create almost like a chaotic field, but there's an organization to it, there's a grand design to it. It's called tensegrity, right? It becomes something so powerful and so functionally sound that it's hard to damage and all of that, right? So here's the thing. It's time to release the negativity. And I'm like, well, what aspect of your life is negative? Like, where is this negativity coming from? And then you see the scorpion right there. Scorpios be like so withdrawn into themselves most times. They won't let anyone else really know what they're going through. And I can see past your Scorpio stuff. I don't know. Let me not rile up the Scorpions. They get all stingy and stuff as though like their venom will do anything to me. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I will behave. But the Scorpion there, like you're trying to hide all of this issue that you're having. You're not broken, but you're definitely struggling through a process and you're getting really bent out of shape over it. What are you getting bent out of shape about? You're refusing to surrender to the divine. This is your own divinity. I mean, if you want to fight with your higher self, by all means, go right ahead. Sting it all you want. That's none of my business. That's not my business. But you're going to feel some type of way. It's going to cause you to feel very negative. You're going to feel very punished as though things are unfair. Life is trying to redirect you. I think for quite a few, you've somehow gotten off track slightly. But here's the thing, even if you're 1 or 2 degrees off track, as you know, as you go further down that path and the further you go, this will become even more evident. Your actual destination gets altered. Where you end up gets altered. It gets changed because of that 1 degree shift. It eventually takes you somewhere else. So all of these things that are inconvenient, these things that you feel are unfair, these are ways in which your life and your soul is using your life to get you back on track. I don't know where your track is leading. And I don't think anyone else really needs to know. I think that's your business and your business alone. But this whole thing of fighting yourself, that's a surefire way. That's a very surefire way to waste all of that energy, all of that potential. That fuel is costly. Do you understand how much you had to go through to accumulate that fuel for your rise? And you want to just burn it up because you're in a mood? I don't know. I don't know. To me, that that doesn't really sound like a solid plan, to be honest. To me, that sounds like a way to just really mess up your process. I mean, it's up to you. Like I said, this is your journey, and you're the only one that has the ability. You're the only one that has the ability to decide, right? And whatever you choose during this period, and that's what it's going to be. So choose wisely. Choose as wisely as you possibly can. Choose as wisely as you possibly can. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to have to decide what you want to do. And then with all of that, you can make sure that what you decide is going to make you happy. Happiness does not come from you being able to control things. The need to control, especially externalized attempts to control. What ends up happening? You end up becoming disappointed. Why? Because you can't control anything but yourself. You can't. So I've learned for myself, because I've struggled with control for a very long time, most of my life. And I've struggled with the externalization of the need to control. When you struggle with that, it's usually because inside you don't feel in control of yourself and your life. You don't feel your power. You don't feel your authority over yourself. And so you externalize it by trying to control everything outside of you. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you need to do some type of work to help you recognize your power over yourself. Your power is not something that someone else has to give you permission to be able to harness. It's not. Do you know how many people have tried so hard to convince me that I need their permission to exist? I need their permission to be as powerful and as gifted as I am. I need their permission to be publicly visible. I need their permission to succeed in whatever I'm trying to do. No, the fuck I don't. I don't even ask my parents for permission. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck is you? That's a real question. Who are they to you that you're giving them so much power and control over you? Oh, if I do this, so and so will get mad. And then next thing you know, you're backsliding into that space of despair. Maybe your despair comes from the fact that you are trying to please all of the people who have zero inkling or desire to know what your actual purpose is. Many of the people you will come across during your life will be people who will either see what you are, who you are, and how you are as something they can benefit from, either through association, destiny swapping, whatever it is, or they see who you are, how you are, and what you are, and they are intimidated by it and they want to destroy it. Why? Because it shines such a bright light on their insufficiency, incapability, which it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. So what you need to do now is really focus, like finding your center and focusing on what your higher self is presenting you as the next set of things you need to get done. Whether it's helping you come to terms with who you are, how you are, and what you are, whether it's directing you for job, friendship, relationship, you're getting all of this internal communication. For many of us, our higher selves are back online. Unfortunately, for many of us, it is back online. And we're hearing the chatter once again. There's a lot of chatter today. A lot of chatter. I taught myself a long time ago. I was a small child still, how to filter out all the chatter. It's kind of like white noise to me. Yeah. Just filter it all out. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to begin seeing the words and opinions of others who, I mean, are they doing for themselves and with their life what you want to do? It's like you're speaking to someone who's a very successful tax preparer, which there's nothing wrong with that job. It's actually can be a very lucrative career, right? They're an accountant, let's say an accountant. You're speaking to a very successful, well-known accountant, highly successful in their life, but you're speaking to them to get advice on law school when they're not into laws, legalities. They're not inclined in that legal sense. Why are you getting advice from them? Why are you getting advice from them? Does that make sense? Because it's like getting advice from someone who's never experienced. No, it's not like it is. It's getting advice from someone who's never experienced what you are about to experience and are very focused on preparing for. Why do that? For a very long time, like a very long time, I've had this thing where people who are well meaning, well intended, they care genuinely. They'll try to give me advice on my path, but they don't know what my path is. It's almost like what I get from them. And this hasn't happened in a very long time. Like it hasn't happened in a few years. I'll get from them that they look at me and they see that I've accomplished so much and they do hold me in high regard, but they think that I've capped out, that this is my glory days. Like this is, I've achieved what I haven't even started. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I'm still warming up. I'm still acclimating. Why are you giving me advice when you don't have any idea as to what I am here to do and the truth and full gravity of my existence? Like you've witnessed a small portion, like little tidbits, right? Why would you take advice from someone like that? Someone who thinks they know you when you haven't even gotten comfortable enough to actually show yourself. So, for those of you who have been with me for any length of time, and you've seen that is not uncommon for me to suddenly be inspired to process aspects of my life randomly in the middle of a live stream because of conversation, right? We're having conversation, then my mind goes somewhere, and next thing you know, I'm processing some type of trauma that I didn't realize I was going to process that day. And because of the realizations, the gravity and the release of the trauma, there's a release of tears. Tears are alchemical. It's an alchemical release. And no, I'm not talking about tears that are forced. I'm talking about the tears that overflow from your recognition and realizations. It's like an overflow of a return of your sovereignty and power that was kind of partitioned away because of what you experienced. In order to survive that experience, you had to push that part of you away. And so that part of you that held that power is being released from that partition. And it's just so much, and your realization of it causes the emotion and that awareness to overflow through your eyes. That's a very transmutative experience. So, yeah, question. Do you guys think that when I have this overflow of realization that I'm just being an emotional mess and it's just so fucking messy and it's like unnecessary and it's indicative of my emotional instability? Do you receive those moments? And it's okay if you do. Do you receive those moments as me being completely out of control and not realizing what a fucking embarrassment I am being in that moment? So Bella says, no, not at all. Gaspar says, I love how you put that, overflow of emotions. Tina Bina says, no. I've heard over the years that people receive those moments in the same gravity that I receive it for myself on a personal level. And it initiates a process within them that's like, oh my God, I'm doing this too. Oh my gosh, I can let myself let go of that. I can give myself permission. Could you imagine if I listened to the individual who said that to me? Because they thought they knew me. They thought they knew me. And because of their personal access to me, they got so comfortable and they began to think that they could actually control me. So, what was the solution for me there? Get sucked into despair? Because that was something that really for much of my life, you know, outside of my immediate family, I'm talking immediate family, like siblings and parents. No one had seen me cry until mid to late 2017. 2017. Y'all know I was born in the 70s, right? I'm a 70s baby. Crazy. Crazy. Always extremely fucking controlled. Everything measured. Never allowed anyone to see me cry. And I remember the exact moment people saw me cry for the first time. I remember exactly where I was. And a juvenile bald eagle even flew right above me. I was live streaming. I remember exactly how that played out. That's how little I allowed people to see me cry. That was so traumatic for me. To allow someone, much less, I don't know how many fucking hundreds of people were on the live stream with me in that moment. There were a couple hundred people. Yeah. Yeah. It was very unsettling. It was very, very unsettling. Why was it unsettling? Because seeing me express emotion in that way rattled everyone. They were so accustomed to me just being funny or kind. And, you know, they were like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, how do we make her stop crying? Like, what is happening? What is happening? I'm healing, is what's happening. I'm finally allowing myself to have the freedom to not exist in a silent space of despair. Did you know when you don't allow yourself to express emotion, especially appropriate emotion, because some of us will only allow ourselves to experience a certain level, which I'm not trying to tell you you're wrong. I'm just bringing to our attention some of these different coping mechanisms that we all have. When you allow yourself to continue to exist in that way, you absolutely get stuck in a space of silent despair. And you begin to convince yourself that nobody cares. Nobody knows what you're going through. Oh, woo. How the conversation flows like poetry will always astound me. So that moment where I cried, no one knew what was happening in my life. I wasn't ashamed. I just felt like it really wasn't anyone's business. No one needed to stress about me or feel pity for me or anything like that. So I'm sitting on a park bench, and at the time I was living full-time in an RV, an old broken RV at that. And in the middle of the live stream, Michael starts a conversation with me. And he tells me, he admits to me that he intentionally broke my brakes. He broke the master cylinder on the RV. In case you guys don't know, you need the master cylinder to have functional brakes. So before he did that, he had me in a fully functional RV still, drive all the way to the mountainous state of Colorado, where you have to fucking go through mountains to leave the state in any direction you go. So you need brakes. He tells me to go to Colorado, like it's very, very urgent. So I listen, I go to Colorado, and then he strands me at the bottom of the state for like 48 hours in a snowstorm. Like the RV is old, it's not winterized. We're not outfitted for a snowstorm. It was so fucking cold. My fingers and toes were numb for 2 days. We couldn't leave for 2 days. We were in that Walmart parking lot. And then he instructs me to go all the way to the northern portion of Colorado. And once we arrive in the northern portion of Colorado, we realize we have no brakes. Like, what the fuck? Brake pedal all the way to the floor. We still rolling. We're still rolling. What the fuck? And he decides to do this during a time of year where, from that point forward, and we learned this in that experience, from that point forward, every single RV park across the entire state will be booked until October. Mind you, it was like April or May. So we can't leave the state. We don't have the ability to connect to electric, sewer, or water. I kept right on live streaming. No one knew what was happening. They were just like, oh, this girl always live streams outside. Yeah. I just kept right on live streaming. Nobody knew I was raising money for other people, helping to prevent other people from going homeless, raising money for them to keep their utilities on so their children don't get taken away, raising money for their kids for school supply, all kind of different things, right? Just all kind of different things. No one knew what was happening. I wasn't ashamed. Clearly, I have the ability to earn. If I'm giving all of that away, I clearly have the ability to earn, except I had convinced myself that because my gifts, I was born with it, then I shouldn't keep any of that. So we were homeless in a parking lot for months. No one knew. Never complained, not a single time. Never saw me cry, no negativity, no nothing. And then that one day, I know exactly where I was seated. Michael starts a conversation, and he tells me he intentionally broke my master cylinder on my RV. He broke my brakes. Oh, I couldn't control it. I couldn't. I was livid. The sense of betrayal and manipulation. I was livid. I was like, what? And he said it again. He said, I'm very sorry. It's time you know. I broke your brakes. Those brakes had been rebuilt. $1,500 down the drain. I broke my brakes. Stranded me in a parking lot with young children for months. No electric, no water, no nothing, no fridge, no nothing. How did I get myself out of that despair? I finally acknowledged the appropriate response. I was sobbing. I was sobbing. And the comments in that live stream There were a couple hundred people on it, and it was just this whole wall of, oh my God, what's happening? Someone needs to know where she is. Someone needs to go to her right now. What's happening? What's happening? Oh my God, someone message her husband. Like, oh my God. And yeah. And then it was an entire wall of comments. Tell us what we need to do. We like what's happening. Tell us what we need to do. And I let them know. I let them know what Michael had told me, and they were like, is that why you live stream outside? Yeah, that's why. Mm-hmm. And then there were the questions of what can we do to help you right now? And you know what I still did? Even though I was at the cusp of exiting that state of utter despair, you know what I did? I facepalmed myself and shoved myself back into that hole. How? Well, what my heart wanted the most. My husband had just started a job, and one of his coworkers, who was a little bit older than us, she was about $700 short on her rent. And she had shared with him that she was about to get evicted. She didn't know what to do. So rather than ask for something for myself, I asked for her rent to be covered. And within a minute or two, the money was in my account, and I gave it to my husband to give to her the next day at work. And we stayed in that parking lot a bit longer because I wasn't done being in that space of despair. I was waiting for people to give me permission to exist. Let that sink in. Now the public knows my circumstance. I was never ashamed of my circumstance. I'm still not ashamed. That's one of the most beautiful periods in my family's history. One of the most beautiful. And I don't mean like beauty as in like poetic. No, like it was so peaceful. It was beautiful. Even though people knew that circumstance, the gravity of what I was struggling through. All I needed was someone to give me permission to allow myself to keep just a little for me and my family, rather than pretty much giving everything away. I didn't even get permission. You know what I got? I got people who knew my circumstance, and they decided they did not like the fact that it appeared to them that I was successful, that I was continuously working and earning a living wage that I was giving away, literally giving away. I have functioned as a living church my entire life. It's only, I don't know, 3 years ago that I actually allowed myself to carry the full federal status of a faith-based organization. And even the sacredness of my existence as a living church, it was offensive to quite a few people. I was never combative, only ever kind and giving and generous of myself, my time, everything. And not only did people not give me permission to exist, they took it upon themselves to make it their life purpose to attack me, to try and destroy the work that I do. For what? What did I do to you? Because you can't access me? You can't get free shit from me anymore? You can't use me to promote yourself? You can't use me to build an audience for you? You're offended because I exist as a peaceful person who does nothing but empower others and give and give and give? And you know the most powerful thing is my realization that they only were able to do that because I gave them the authority to do that to me. So now, if I am vibing with you, you need to get the fuck on, because no. And if you want to be nasty with me, baby boo, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not. And some people might say, like, oh my God, that's so sad that the meanness and the bullying changed you. It didn't change me. I've always had this capacity, but I've been ashamed of my power to stand up, not just for others, but for myself as well. I was waiting for people to give me permission to be able to tap into that for me. It's not a character. It's a part of me. It's a part of me. It's a genuine, authentic part of me. If you're going to wait for people to give you permission, they're not. I promise you, they're not. And don't get it wrong. There were a handful of really sweet, very genuine people through the history of my public visibility that were very kind and very supportive. I'm not a victim. I don't see myself as a victim. I see myself as extremely blessed in so many ways across the entire board of my life. I've had everything that I needed right as I needed it the most, whether it's a kind word, whether it's just some resonance with another person. Hi, Jody. I've had everything I needed, whether it might be the silence and the stillness, everything that I've needed, being hidden away in plain sight, the anonymity that I just love. They won't give you permission. But it doesn't matter because you never needed it. Do not allow yourself to get sucked into that space of despair just because people who have nothing to do with you, who have no relevance and no gravity when it comes to your journey, are, I don't know, intimidated by your existence, offended because of their awareness of your gravity. Your dreams need a practical plan. That practical plan is going to be custom calibrated by your soul. It's going to give you specific types of perception. And these are the filters that you're using to view your life. Your perception requires a filter. Your perspective is contingent on your placement on that mountain that you're climbing called life. The higher you go has nothing to do with superiority over someone else. Hi, Robert. Oh my God, it's been years. It has nothing to do with your superiority over others. If people would try and convince you the higher you climb on the mountain, the more you think you're above everyone else. No, the higher I climb on the mountain, the better positioned I am to see what's happening, what I've been through. And now I'm positioned in such a way that I can help people up to join me, stand shoulder to shoulder with me higher up on that mountain. Has nothing to do with that. But people will try and convince you that if that's your goal, you just want to be better than everyone else. How about I just want to be a better version of myself, more capable of loving myself, accepting myself, empowering myself, fueling my own rise by simply giving myself permission to be me. How about that? How about that? So adjustments are required, but it's in reverse. You're already calibrated for this. For those of you who are like, oh my God, I'm feeling the tingles. I'm feeling so like inspired by this. Like, what do I need to do? You're already doing it. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm just existing. Exactly. More of that. Just existing. Allowing yourself to explore the things that make you curious, the things that make you feel drained, make you feel nasty, make you see yourself in a way that you don't need to see yourself, that you shouldn't see yourself. Get rid of those things. That's fucking straight up basura. Trash. And if it's a person, well, I will say it. That person is fucking trash. Hey, let's be honest about the people in our lives. You know, there's this one person, I'm pretty sure her minion still watches me to report back to her. There was this one person that I love so deeply. I still love this person, but you will never again be a part of my life. Why? Because you're a jealous fucking bitch. That's why. You will never access me again so you can say backhanded shit to me. That's intended to cause me to question myself, my worth, the gravity of my work, just because it's beyond what you will ever achieve in your life. And you've achieved a lot, and I'm proud of you. But I'm tired of you being a passive aggressive fucking bitch to me. I've loved you for our whole lives. I will keep loving you. But you will never again be a part of my life. Hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it for both you bitches. Man, you can try and pretend you don't know why I went silent. Yes, the fuck you do. You two have been talking shit about me for quite some time without me doing anything but existing. So comfortable with disrespecting me and disregarding me that you could tell me to my face that you were talking fucking shit about me to each other, and I'll just laugh it off. Because to me, it's no big deal. That was a version of me that allowed myself to embody this belief that I am not worth it. It's no big deal. Yes, the fuck it is a big deal. This is not me speaking angrily. This is me speaking with conviction and passion. We are fucking worth it. We are worth the discomfort of our silence. If that's what it takes for people to learn, what they allowed to slip through their fingers was gold dust. By all means, let them spend the rest of their days regretting the way they disregarded you. But do it without checking in. Do it without hoping that they're suffering and struggling in your absence. Y'all, I'm at a point in my journey. I will not be sucked into a space of despair because I'm finally beginning, it's the early stages. I'm finally beginning to understand the gravity of my existence and what my existence does to people who witness me in my authentic truth. Do I agree with it? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Because I mean, I'm just some random girl online. It shouldn't carry that type of gravity. But if it does, I hope it continues to reverberate within you and cause you to recalibrate to that degree of importance. It's not because I'm elevated above you. It's because you needed to see me to remember where you belong. Right there beside me. Right there beside me. Bitch. I just got a notification. Bitch. It says your cortisol is showing. It's talking about my moon face and my weight gain and stress. What the fuck? Okay, it's not cortisol and it's not weight gain. Okay, it's called creatine. Ooh, how rude. It's called creatine. Okay. Okay, nothing is yet set in stone, but it is. Your journey is solidified. The things you'll need to go through is solidified. The way you'll go through that and the way it will make you feel, that's not yet solidified. You get a choice in how you will receive what you experience. The Phoenix resurrection surrendered to change. Ooh, it's in reverse. So what's this telling me? This is telling me that there is no rule that has been set by creator or the cosmos that states a phoenix can only burn their fuel. Hey, if people want to throw their gas on your fire, by all means, you should let it burn. Okay. In the words of nasty ass Usher, you should let it burn. Trust, strategizing. Ooh. Ooh. You don't trust your process. You don't trust your process. You think the strategy that your soul is presenting you is giving you an unfair advantage. Mm. Do you want me to shake you like a shake weight? Is that what you need? How the fuck is that an unfair advantage? Why do you keep thinking, feeling, and living as though creating more hardship for yourself makes it fair? That's so fucking inefficient. Like, stop. 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 There's no logic in that. That's some imposter syndrome bullshit that needs to stop. I'm saying this with as much love as I can muster. That needs to stop. It needs to stop. Okay, so based on that logic, I'm highly medically inclined. I'm extremely efficient and proficient with learning new topics, new subject matter, very complex things. I can learn it very quickly, very efficiently. Sometimes all you need to do is give me the word and I can quantum jump through that entire subject matter. I might look up a few things just to confirm because, I don't want to be running from a space of ego, just assuming everything I say is correct. I like to confirm. Do you know how many clients I've been able to help in that way? Because that's how I function. Do you know how many? I am clocked in at over 13,000 people that I have assisted since the early part of 2017. Now, what if I was to play stupid? What if I was to play dumb? Like I can't do the things that I can do. How's that helping anyone? Well, because people are gonna, they're gonna think what they're gonna think anyways. You know that, right? They're going to think what they're gonna think no matter what you do. I have people I've never interacted with that I don't even know exist that have a chip on their shoulder because they know that I exist and they see the gravity of my work and they're pissed off about it. What the fuck does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with me? Did I do something outside of exist? No. So why do I need to be concerned by that? Why does that need to be the very thing that keeps me getting sucked into that space of despair? Why is that? Oh, wait. Why is that? So your logic of you need to slow yourself down, that it's not fair because you have some type of unfair advantage. Maybe you have that proclivity because it's your obligation to cultivate that so you could help the others who are walking behind you. You're so accustomed to shooting yourself in the knees. You know, if you get shot in the knees, you know what happens? It wrecks your entire knee. You will never function the same again. You might not even be able to walk. You could maybe fix it with total knee replacement, but that's a complex joint. They can't rebuild that. They can't rebuild that. Why do you shoot yourself in the knees? You're still going to have to climb the mountain. Making it harder for yourself is not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. So, what do you need to do? You need to stop playing these games with yourself. Okay? You need to stop. Compensation and perseverance, it's in reverse. This conversation that continues to be had, and it's not even a conversation, it's a monologue that continues to be regurgitated by the spiritual monkeys. And I call them spiritual monkeys because they tend to be the spiritual flying monkeys for the narcissists at the top. They regurgitate whatever the ones at the top tell them to regurgitate. This monologue of if you are gifted to some capacity in whatever field of giftedness, that you shouldn't be compensated for that. Because God gave you those gifts for free, so you should be doing those things for free. Okay. Okay. Did God create money? Because God created all the animals, and the animals don't have to pay to exist. Everything is provided for free for them. At which point I could absolutely provide everything for free, like I have for pretty much my whole fucking life. So the real question here for those people who say these things to you, that you should not monetize your gifts, you should not be properly compensated for the degree of service that you're providing, for your time, your energy, your effort, your expertise. To those people, what have you personally done to eliminate the need and use for false fiat? I mean, outside of fucking complain because you're a miserable person, what have you personally done? Because if you haven't personally done anything but regurgitate that, I'm going to need you to take your verbal vomit and fucking go somewhere else with it. Go to your mom's house. I don't know. Go to your mom's house. I don't know where that came from, but it feels appropriate. Go to your mom's house. Let your mom deal with you. Let your mom deal with you. Because for the rest of us, we need to earn a living wage. And if you've been given gifts that elevate you in that field of interest among others who are in that field of interest, that makes you more properly capable of providing an enhanced service experience. And yes, you should absolutely be compensated for your time. You should. Why? And people have accused me of being all about money. My whole time I've been publicly visible. All about money, even though I was fucking homeless for how many years and transient, stuck in a fucking parking lot, never keeping any of the money for myself, just enough for groceries and gas, and giving it all away. I'm all about money. Okay, I don't give a fuck what those people say at this point. Guess what? Guess what? When you allow yourself to be properly compensated at the appropriate level for the degree of service provided, that gives you more time to cultivate those skills and be an even greater gift. I mean, the profound beauty of that, the profound beauty of that. Like, wow, I'm not just stuck and preoccupied the entire day with my fear of how am I going to pay the next bill. How many of you have that struggle? How are you going to pay the next bill? I have bills and I help other people still. And for me, it's a thing of, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to do the work that I do and be focused strictly on the work that I do and allow myself to further cultivate those gifts so I can be an even greater gift. I give so much and I don't point out every time I give, and it's okay because I'm giving from the heart, not to show you that I've given to you. I'm giving just straight from the heart. And that's it. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't allow myself to be properly and appropriately compensated for the degree of work that I provide. It's important. I'm not just talking about me. I'm using me and my life, my experiences, and my realizations that were born of those experiences. I'm using that to show you that you could choose something else, something that's more in alignment with the reality of what you're here to do. Not everyone is here to be a spiritual gift to others. Not everyone is here to be a medical intuitive. No. What if your gift is creating specific types of product that help other people? What if you're an inventor? What if? What if all you need is to gain an understanding of the gravity of you and your existence so that you stop that cycle of getting sucked into a space of despair and you can begin living joyfully, celebrating life, and allowing that abundance through? Oh, I thought you weren't about money. No. I've said people have accused me of being all about money. And I also said, for those people, what have you personally done to eliminate our use of false fiat? Because I'm not having no kind of conversation with anyone about that subject until they show me with verifiable evidence of the work they're doing to eliminate the use of false fiat. Get the fuck out of here. We all have to pay to exist. And you are all free to choose to utilize your gifts as a way to first and foremost provide for yourself, and then to be able to be positioned after some time, of course, to help others. That whole needing to guilt you and keep you in a space of compliance, subservience, depletion, intentional self-depletion to appease these bottomless pit type people who they want everything for free. They never give you anything in return. It's never an even exchange. And I'm not a tit for tat person. I'm not. I don't give with the expectation of getting specific amount back. No. If I give to you and my heart is telling me to give to you, I give to you. I don't expect a thank you. I don't expect an acknowledgement. I expect you to carry on with your life, to hold that feeling of, damn, there are people who exist who see me and believe I matter, because you fucking do. Because you do. The world will never know how many homeless people I've helped in real life. Not just because I don't post it online, but because I never tell them my name. I don't. I never tell them my name. I've provided so much to so many complete strangers, but I never tell them my name. And when they ask me, because I've been asked often, when they ask me, you know what I tell them? My name doesn't matter. All that matters is your existence is important. And whatever you asked for, it was heard and it was answered. I take no credit for it, so you don't need to know my name. All I have to do is answer the call of my heart, do what it asks me to do, and to wish you well on your journey. That's it. That's it. How beautiful is that? Not how beautiful, look at me. How beautiful is that to be able to exist in such a way that I could be a tool for creation to recalibrate people so that they can be clear within themselves about how much they matter, how important their existence is, even if they don't know it yet. Like, your existence is important. I don't know why, but it's important. And here's another thing on the flip side of that. A memory pops in my head. I was at Walmart with one of my most dearest family members, and we were walking back to her car, and we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. And this man comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, can I have some money?" And we look at each other, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't have any. I hope you receive what you're looking for." And we get in the car. And then she asks me if we should go inside, go to the ATM, and get cash to give to him. I think she wanted to give to him. And I said, as much as it saddens me that he's in that situation, clearly he was homeless. And, it's a time of year where many, many, many people are forcibly reminded of how little their family cares about their existence, right? And I said to my family member, if my heart doesn't tell me that I'm the one that's supposed to help, then I have to honor that and just express my well wishes for them to cross paths with a person who is supposed to help. And as I'm telling my family member that, guess what? I mean, they walked right in front of her vehicle. They came across another person who was also leaving Walmart. We were already in the car. And they asked that person, I guess the person didn't have money, I'm not sure, but that person asked them to walk to her car and gave them a couple snack bars, and I forgot what else, but I think some drinks too. And I was like, oh, well, it's not money, but at least we know he has food and something to drink, at least, to last for a couple hours. And hopefully with that, he'll be able to come across the person who he's supposed to be helped by, if he's supposed to be helped, right? And that's the thing. We have to cut through the illusions. This next card, dreams, a collective good, illusions. This illusion that you have to be a martyr, you have to exist in a state of depletion. You have to give to everyone and everything. Give, 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 give. I mean, if you're ridiculously rich and you have the capacity to give, 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 beautiful, keep doing it. Oh my God, hell yes. Hell yeah, keep doing it. But if you're like me, like us, pretty much all of us, we have to live within limited means. We have to exist within budgets. And we don't have the luxury of doing that. You're not a bad person just because you don't place yourself in a space of detriment and depletion. I had to learn the hard way. No matter how much I give, it's never enough to prove that I'm a good person. Some of the people who are the most committed to their belief that I am a good person, that I am living truth, I'm authentic and raw in living my truth, they've never received a single thing from me. They've never gotten a free scan or a free service. I've never helped them with any of their bills privately. They've never received anything. Yet they have this perception of me. They have this belief that I'm a good person, that I'm honest. And those two things are true. It's true. All they had to do was see me and know this is the real deal. She's not faking anything. Her authenticity is not manufactured. And let me tell you, there's quite a few content creators whose authenticity is absolutely manufactured. One in particular pops in my head, and I won't name names, but this one pops in my head. And the last time I saw, I don't fucking know why TikTok keeps showing me this shit. I keep blocking it. But TikTok keeps showing it. The last time I inadvertently ran across one of their live streams for a few seconds, it was like, do you sit there in front of a mirror and practice this bullshit that you're spewing? Well, let me read. Do you sit there and watch my videos before you sit in front of a mirror to practice your cosplay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Thank you for the laughs. I'm just. Shit. Pettyluya. Can I get a pettyluya? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyways, authentic purpose, inspiration, and free will. You got to tap into your authentic purpose. You do. You don't have to know what that is, but you have to give yourself the freedom to just exist as you are, because the person that you are and the way you exist, with wounds and all, okay? Wounds and all. That's part of your purpose. It is. It's part of your purpose. It's part of your purpose. It's part of it. You guys want to hear the best part? This is the shit that cracks me up. I I intuitively know. I get this inkling that they still consistently watch my videos, and they get so fucking mad when I joke around like this, because to me, this is all a fucking joke. They get so mad when I joke around like this, but they can't say shit, because if they say shit and sick their fucking audience on me like they tried to before, people will fucking know who they're copying. What to do? Ooh, that's the cake topper. That right there, that's the cake topper. So let me get back on track. Let me get back on track. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Ooh, y'all. Okay, this just turned serious. That was a good laugh, though. That was definitely a good laugh. And yes, no, I mean it. Like, the whole thing is fucking hilarious to me. It's just like a big joke to me. Softly, softly, the tender touch, defend to the end the worthwhile. Your soul is about to get real. Your soul's about to get real crunk with your ass. I'm just saying. Your soul is about to shake, wait, you, shake, wait, you, shake, wait, you. Your soul is about to shake, wait, you, shake, wait, you, shake, wait, you. The fucking song. Y'all need to stop fucking around with your soul, because whatever it is you're doing, dragging your feet, and I don't know what, your soul's about to get very passionate in its attempt to rectify your delulu, that's telling you that you should not do the things that will bring you success and some respite from all your, whatever it is you're going through. Your soul doesn't like the ways in which you continue to throw yourself under a bus. It doesn't like that. Your soul does not like the ways in which you fight the arrival of your abundance and healing. It doesn't like that. Defend to the end the worthwhile. For those of you who continue to allow yourself to be accessible to the very parasitic things and people, I don't know. I don't want to be a part of that. It's this sense that I'm being given that your soul is about to fight hardcore for you. And mark my words, thank fucking God. I'm not part of the spiritual community. I haven't been since 2017. For all those who would like to excommunicate me from the spiritual community on TikTok, bitch, you too late. I already got excommunicated in 2017. No, seriously. So here's the thing. There's going to be a huge shakeup in the spiritual community. Huge shakeup. I don't know what it is. I don't really want to see what it is. I'm being completely serious. There's going to be a huge fucking shakeup in the spiritual community across all social media platforms. And it's going to get real fucking ugly. What do I have to say about that? Michael asks me, what do you have to say about that? Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. I don't give a shit. That's none of my problem. That's none of my business. Bitches, don't try and drag me into your fucking bullshit. I'll wreck the whole shop. So that's all, it's going to be major drama. I just heard about this. I don't know. I don't fucking, Lindsay, don't even ask if it's going to be drama. Let's just leave that shit where it is. Just leave that shit where it is. Don't even ask. I'm not curious. I'm not curious who it is, how many people are going to get involved, what's going to happen. I'm just going to stay in my own little lane, doing my little expedites, having my little private events, working on my private sessions, these live streams. I'm good off all that shit. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, shit. Okay. Michael says that I need you're so theatrical right now. If I get demonetized, I'm fucking kicking your ass. Are you sure this is from Epidemic Sound? All right. Hold on. He says I need some mood music. I'm going to tell you guys exactly. So I'm having conversation with my higher self, but I typically don't acknowledge my higher self. And Michael is kind of just chiming in, and he says that I need to have some mood music. All right. So what I heard from the grapevine is that these spiritualists, they're actually running on Atlantean templates, Atlantean programs. As Atlantean programs are being phased out, they're reaching a fever pitch and they are snarling at each other. Some shit is about to pop off. One ego-filled creator is going to pit themselves against another ego-filled creator. They're going to go head to fucking head. And you know what's going to happen. They're going to invite all their NPC followers to brawl with each other. It's going to implode from the inside. I'm telling you. Anyone who jumps into this mess, I'm not fucking going to be part of none of this. Anyone who jumps into this mess to defend their creator, their person that they follow, guess what? Your template will be fucking irreversibly corrupted. You can follow whoever you want, but the moment you jump into that, there is an infection that's spreading that I haven't said nothing about. It's a new hybridized strain that I'm not going to talk about publicly. How do you protect yourself from it? Do not engage. Simple. Simple. Yo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And they will appeal to you. They will make it seem as though they need you to protect them. No, the fuck they don't. Look at their history. Have they been starting shit with person after person after person? This is how they built their following. You tap into that, you're gonna get infected. And I'm not gonna be there to say shit. Y'all do whatever you need to do. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be those who follow the path of Lilith versus those who follow the path of Lamashtu. Those bitches be crazy. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not participating in none of that. It's up to you what you want to do. I don't know that an extraction would work. I'm very upfront about these things. If I cannot extract, I don't give you the sense that I can and lie to you that I can. I tell you straight up, I will not take your booking. So y'all do with whatever that information means to you, y'all do it. If you need to continue watching folks to make sure, just to kind of confirm, you go right ahead. I don't think that is enough to get you caught up. I just don't. I don't think that's enough to get you caught up. But if you're going to involve yourself, because you need to stick up for so-and-so and, you know, that's up to you as well. Just please don't bring your infected ass into my spaces, into my community. Please don't do that. Yeah, because if you do that, we're going to have a major problem. I refuse. I refuse. No, you're not going to be infecting my entire community because you chose some bullshit. We need to be honest about the way we are addicted to drama. I'm not addicted to drama. I like to watch it on TV. I do. But I'm not addicted to drama. I don't need to jump into the drama. I don't need to save anyone from the shit they started themselves. You know? I'm glad I'm completely oblivious to who you're talking about and it stays that way. Amen. Amen. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't get a lot of spiritual content on my feed. I don't. You know what I saw today? So last week I was obsessed with Brussels griffons. Griffon. I don't know. They look like fucking living Ewoks. They're adorable and they have attitude. I love that. I love attitude. But this week I'm obsessed with golden shepherds. Oh my God. How fucking adorable. Golden shepherds. Oh my God. You golden blonde child of God. fuck? Get in my house. Get in my house and live with me. My family will tell you not to say that. My family will tell you that you can't stay. But I'm just saying, you're so fucking adorable. I can't take it. Next week, it might be something else. So, Golden Shepherds, enjoy your place in my heart for now. I do have ADHD and I get distracted very easily. It might not even last till next week. It might end today. Who knows? But that's what's on my feed. Funny shit, medical things. Yeah, all of that. All of that. I love that. I love that stuff. I'm not interested in any of the whatever this fucking drama is going to be. And y'all, if you start to see that this is happening, don't tell me. I don't want to fucking know. I don't want to know. I literally don't want to know. But I do think it's, I think is going to involve some type of like, I think it's going to involve something to do with someone who does like energy work of some kind, who thinks they're like so fucking badass. Like they've really convinced themselves that they're just fucking untouchable and badass. And they're going to go up against someone who is ancestral. Boo, whatever you fucking learned online will never trump magical blood. It just fucking won't. It won't. Yeah. Yo, people have been trying to do black magic, blood magic, all kind of fucking just ridiculous, malignant shit to me for years. None of that gets through. Do you understand the gravity of the bloodline I was born into? I was born into a Filipino bloodline that is the shaman bloodline. You won't get through. And then on top of that, the ancestors from all my lives, these are spiritual elders. They are the spiritual leaders of nations. You will never overcome what I was born with. And that's protection beyond protection. I don't need to worry about none of that fucking bullshit. Y'all do whatever you're going to do with each other. Leave me out of it. But it's going to be magical blood against learned skill, which I don't even know that they have skill, but they both like to talk a lot. They both like to talk a lot. Both seem to be, and it seems like one of them will involve another individual who can make their cause gain more traction. This shit's about to pop off. Nah, that's why I'm not part of the spiritual community. That shit's fucking drama. New birth, guarded vigilantly, but it's in reverse. So all of this is going to create opportunity for trauma-induced secretion. For those of you who are in spiritual communities, it's not to say that your spiritual community is going to be part of this. I think there will be quite a bit that happens that sucks people into this. Were any of you present when all that shit it's a fucking repeat? I was like, why does it sound so familiar? I get it. That was 8 years ago. And this is like the convergence. Okay, so I'll share this for you guys. When I was part of the spiritual community, I was aligned with an individual who I thought had purity of heart, integrity, and was divinely connected. They were, when we crossed paths initially, they were tapped into their divine masculine energy, right? No, not a twin flame thing. It was just like, I saw the beauty of their heart. And then they brought me into their friend group. And I'm aware of this because I was in the chat. I was in the group chat when they were talking about me in the group chat. And it was this thing of I would serve a long way in drawing people because I have some type of magnetism that they couldn't explain. And it draws people in. And so I would be the one that would be used to exponentially expand everyone else's following. They all had established followings. And I was like, oh, I'm perfectly okay with helping people who are, about helping people. That was perfectly fine with me because that's how I saw it. That's how my mind works. At the time, I didn't realize I was being used. So that carries on for quite a few months. Long story short, I got excommunicated because he was trying to use me as his attack dog on another creator. This other creator had an even larger following, and she was known as a dark witch. And he ooh, they went head to head. They tried to suck me into it. One of her following went on my live stream where I was talking about something completely removed from their bullshit. And they were like, so and so says, oh, what do you think about so and so? I was like, I don't know so and so. So I have no opinion on so and so because the drama had already popped off. And and then they were trying to get me caught up, and they were like, oh, I heard from so and so that you gave your mom medibles. And I was like, actually, you heard wrong, because I told that story on a live stream. I own every aspect of my life. I had shared on a live stream that when my mom came to visit me, at the time I was living, I think, like in Denver or something like that. When my mom came to visit me, because I was a chocolatier, she said she wanted some truffles and she wanted some vegan caramel sauce. Is fucking bomb. And so I made it for her. And then I was joking around because she knew that at the time, the reason I was in Denver was because a very close friend of mine was trying to make me a part of their business venture. They were producing medibles and I was a chocolatier. So we were trying to pair them together. That was at the start. That was at the start of the legalization of the lettuce in Colorado. So this is years ago. And what I had shared was I gave my mom some of the vegan caramel sauce, and I said it was magical. And then she looked at me and she started thinking that she was, she thought that it was magic caramel sauce. And I'm cracking up and I let her think that. And that's what I shared. Why the fuck would I give her without her consent? That's illegal. Like, that's crazy. To me, that's not a fucking joke. That's crazy. That's a violation of someone's right to have informed consent. That's crazy to me. So they were trying to say that, oh, I did this and I did that and yada, yada, yada. And I was like DRUG-ing old people, like just crazy shit. And so I told them, actually, no, this is what actually happened. And they were like, oh, so do you not like them? Because now they're lying about you. And I was like, sounds like it's a misunderstanding. So I don't know why you're trying to convince me to have an issue with someone I don't know. And then that group decided to have lots of live streams trying to pull me in. It's like, you got a problem with me, but I don't have a problem with you. Sounds like a you problem. And they were talking all this shit. It's like, well, I mean, you have a right to your opinion. I still don't know you, so I don't have an opinion on you. And then the guy, because he needed more people to be on his side, he then asked me to go on a live stream with him, and he was threatening to go back to work. This is all public knowledge. He's threatening to go back to work if they didn't like donate more money to him. And he thought I was going to like speak to everyone and rally everyone to donate money to him, which no, I was like, well, if the people don't appreciate you, I mean, you need to provide for yourself. Fuck it, go back to work. These people don't then go back to work. And he was like, he didn't inform me that this was some type of manipulative live stream that he was planning to do, and that he was counting on me to back him up in his manipulation of his audience. So I said, fuck it, go back to work, earn your money, pay your bills, make sure your family is situated. You don't got to do any of that shit. You don't got to volunteer your time if it can't provide for your needs. Because I was the only one, like, if I get a donation, it's not to pay for my stuff. And everyone can see I'm showing, like, very transparent. I'm giving everything that was donated to the person. So, I mean, not long after that, I was excommunicated. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, those two went at it quite a bit. Quite a fucking bit. So that, yep. That right there. That's crazy to me. I am genuinely and literally too autistic to play those games. Like, I don't understand that kind of shit. It's only in retrospect that I'll gain clarity, but for the most part, unless you tell me that you're doing some game playing and stuff, I don't know what you're doing. I'm taking your word at face value. But if I get a sense that you're not trustworthy, I won't even take your word, period. In the world, not of the world, but it's in reverse. This is a very earth-based type of bullshit drama. Y'all can decide if you want to partake in that. And whatever bullshit drama hits your life, y'all can decide what you will do and how you will navigate through that. Power of attraction. So whatever this is, it's not this soul-based connection that's going to draw you in. It's the desire to participate in drama. You need to fix that addiction. I'm being completely serious. It's okay to get that little bit of drama fix from a show. That's what the shows are, right? That's what the shows are for. But to seek that in your real life, I think you're gonna open yourself to really some just nonsensical caca. But you know, it's up to you. If that's what you choose, that's what you choose. But you know, I wouldn't. Ground and center. This is what you need to focus on. You need to ground and center yourself. And as you ground and center yourself, you'll become aware of the areas of vulnerability. These are the spaces that exist within you where your heartstrings can be pulled. And that's how they're going to get you into the drama. You know, it took a friend of mine, and this was years ago. It took a friend of mine. I had made a post and I was like very passionately defending this guy. And that's what I was continuously doing. And my friend was like, hey, Emmy, you know that person is grown, right? That's a full grown man. You don't need to keep defending them. You don't need to make a post to make sure that everyone can see him in the way you see him. And I was like, you're right. And you know, I realized when I stepped back, I didn't cut the person off yet. I just took a step back. What ended up happening was I realized I didn't even see the person clearly. I saw the potentiality in that person. And after a certain point, because of their ego, they got irrevocably breached. And now they're running straight from parasitic programs. And I blinded myself to that because I kept holding on to this beautiful potential that I saw in them the first time we crossed paths. So that potential doesn't exist. You ever hear of that saying where there's no such thing as potential? Potential that you see in other people is simply the potential that you would have had if you were them, because that's what you would have done. And I'm like, yeah, that, exactly that. You have these unique gifts, and these unique gifts need to be balanced. If you don't balance these gifts, what's going to happen? you're going to enter into a space where you're thinking you need to save everyone. Are you capable of saving yourself? Why jump into a pool that's like 10 feet deep because someone is drowning when you yourself can't swim? What the fuck is that going to do? You're going to go to the bottom, let them stand on your shoulders. Both of you still won't be above the surface of the water. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Years ago, I was at my brother's house and he had a pool and we were just enjoying the pool, and he has a Borbal. If you guys don't know what that is, that's a big ass dog. It's an African Mastiff and he's very heavy boned. And I think at the time he might have already been like 100 pounds. So he was at the edge of the pool. I won't lie to you. I thought all dogs can swim. And I jokingly nudged him, thinking that he would fall in the pool and swim. Except he sunk all the way to the bottom. He was inside the... And he goes, no, grab him. He can't swim. And I just looked into the pool. This 6 feet. What do you want me to do? I can't swim either. I can't swim. I mean, it's like my hand in the pool to try and grab him, but he was, instead of swimming up, he swam down to the floor of the pool. And he couldn't swim. So what my brother had to do, because he can swim, he just kind of hopped over the side of the hot tub into the pool, grabbed his dog, lifted him up, put him over the thing. And the poor child of God, I call him a child of God, he was standing there just looking at me like he didn't know what happened. I was like, I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't know you couldn't swim. There is no point in shoving yourself into a situation that you can't even save yourself from. There's no point. Earth Star Chakra, initiation. Something's being initiated without your consent. Your human consent. Your soul is consenting to this. Your soul is the one initiating this. And what is it? Something that's intended to transform you. But if you allow yourself to get sucked into this space, you will not be transforming. You will be caught up in the same cycles with the same perception. You're being reminded that you come from the infinite. You are made of the infinite. And an infinite existence is where you're returning to. You need to make some decisions that honor your sovereignty and your needs to the utmost degree. Okay. I'm going to be having an event this Saturday. It is the Black Magic Revocation event. It is to clear out dark matter. It is to clear out demon seeds and all kind of different things. It will not address parasitic infestations. It will not address incubus, succubus, but everything else that we're entering into, just because of the environment, the collective environment, it will absolutely address that. So if you'd like to be a part of that, you can either click on the QR code on the screen or the link in the comments. For those who are on TikTok, if you go to my bio, click on the link in my bio, click the Hubi link and look for the Black Magic Revocation. That will be this Saturday, and there's 2 ticket options. The first ticket option is just for the main event. It will not be publicly broadcast. It's for the main event, and it's basically like a meditative experience. It's virtual and it's recorded, so you can continue to watch this after the live event concludes. The second type of ticket will give you access to the main event and then the enhanced event. So with the enhanced event, your higher self will dictate which 5 activations are necessary. I'm not going to put any limits on which activations. It doesn't matter if it's like a $1,500 activation, whatever your higher self asks for, those are the activations you'll receive. I'll be working on everyone simultaneously in the enhanced ticket room. So I'll work on you guys simultaneously. And if your higher self requests more than 5 activations, sure, I'm already working on you. What difference does it make? To me, it doesn't make a difference. I'm already working on you. That will be this Saturday. Lexi, no, it's a virtual event. So all you need is internet connection. It'll be held on my private platform and it will be a live stream. And then you guys can rewatch the recording. Okay. So I'm going to get going. I have to get to a session. If you guys want to go and you're on TikTok, go to the link in my bio, click on the Hubi link, and then go from there. Okay. And for everyone else, click on the QR code or the link in the comment and go from there. So I will see you guys again very